The Desperate Plath story opens with the peaceful Velani people facing complete extinction. Their blue-skinned, fragile race has lived on the ocean planet Aquilus for thousands of years. The Velani are gentle beings who communicate through harmonic vibrations and have never known war. Captain Kira leads the last Velani ship as massive warships from the brutal Corvan Empire surround their dying world. The Corvans are a reptilian, warrior race that consumes other species for sport and resources. They have already destroyed 12 peaceful civilizations across the galaxy. The Galactic Federation, led by the arrogant Centauri Alliance, receives the Velani's desperate distress. Call. Ambassador Talon represents the Federation's cold response. They refuse to help because the Velani have nothing to offer and are too weak to matter. The Federation only protects species that can contribute military strength or valuable resources. As Corvan ships begin bombing Velani cities, Captain Kira makes a desperate decision. She has heard whispers of a young, primitive species called humans who live on a small blue planet in a distant arm of the galaxy. These humans are considered savage and violent by most galactic civilizations, but some stories speak of their fierce protective nature. With her people dying around her, Kira sends a simple message toward Earth. We are the Velani. We are dying. Will you help us when no one else will? The message reaches Earth's Space Monitoring Station, where Commander Ross receives the alien transmission. The human government debates for only hours before making their decision. They will help, not because they gain anything, but because it's the right thing to do. The human fleet arrives at Aquilus, just as the Corvan bombardment reaches its peak. Admiral Hayes commands the small but determined human force of 20 ships against the massive Corvan armada of 200 vessels. The Corvans laugh at the primitive human ships, calling them metal insects. General Vex, the Corvan commander, sees humans as just another weak species to crush. He sends a mocking message: leave now, primitives, or share their fate. Admiral Hayes responds simply: we don't abandon those who ask for our help. The first battle is brutal. Human ships are smaller and less advanced than Corvan vessels, but they fight with a ferocity that shocks the galaxy. Using guerrilla tactics, the humans target Corvan supply lines and communication arrays. They sacrifice their own ships to save. Velani evacuation vessels. Captain Kira watches in amazement as these strange aliens fight desperately for her people. She has never seen beings willing to die for strangers. The humans coordinate their attacks with mathematical precision while showing emotional connection to every Velani life saved. The human ship Defiance rams a Corvan dreadnought to protect a Velani hospital ship. As the human captain dies, transmits, that's for the children aboard that ship. The Galactic Federation monitors the battle from afar. Ambassador Talon calls the human actions pointless heroics, but other species begin to take notice. The proud Saurian Empire and the Logical Nexus Coalition start questioning why these primitives show more honor than the advanced Federation. The battle ends with heavy human losses, but the Velani survive. The Corvans retreat, confused by an enemy that values others' lives over their own victory. Word of humanity's sacrifice spreads across the galaxy. The Velani people, now relocated to a safe star system under human protection, begin sharing their story. They speak of humans who died protecting strangers, who shared their food with hungry refugees, who learned Velani songs to comfort frightened children. Dr. Alina Martinez leads the Human Cultural Exchange Program. She works with Velani scientist Nara to establish permanent diplomatic relations. The Velani offer their advanced underwater farming technology and harmonic healing methods in gratitude. Meanwhile, the Corvan Empire grows furious. They launch propaganda claiming humans are a dangerous virus that must be eliminated. General Vex convinces the Corvan High Command that human emotional weakness, threatens their entire way of life. The Federation faces internal pressure as more species question their abandonment of the Velani. The Crystalline Collective, who value honor above all else, openly criticize Ambassador Talon's decision. 3 minor species formally request human protection after the Federation ignores their own pleas for help. Admiral Hayes establishes the Guardian Protocol, a promise that humanity will protect any species abandoned by the galaxy. The protocol spreads hope among oppressed peoples while creating fear in aggressive empires. The Saurian Empire, traditionally neutral, sends Ambassador Raken to observe human society. He expects to find primitive warmongers, but instead discovers a species that builds hospitals for their enemies and shares technology freely with those in need. On Earth, the human population rallies behind their government's decision. Children send drawings to Velani refugees. Scientists volunteer for dangerous missions to establish new safe colonies. The entire human race embraces their role as galactic protectors. The Corvin Empire forms the Purity Alliance with 2 other aggressive species, the machine-like Nexus Destroyers and the parasitic Void Feeders. Together, they declare war on humanity and all species under human protection. The Federation maintains strict neutrality, with Ambassador Talon arguing that both sides are equally wrong. This cowardly stance disgusts many Federation member species who secretly begin supporting the human cause. The war begins with coordinated attacks on human colonies and protected species. The Corvins use their superior numbers and technology to overwhelm human defenses. The siege of Colony Prime lasts for months, with human defenders fighting room by room to protect Velani civilians. Captain Lisa Chan commands the defense of the Harmony Station, a refugee center housing survivors from 7 different species. When Corvin forces break through, she makes the ultimate sacrifice, detonating the station's reactor to eliminate the enemy fleet while evacuating all civilians first. The tide turns when the Saurian Empire officially joins humanity's cause. Ambassador Raken declares, "We have seen true honor in these humans. They fight not for conquest, but for justice." The Crystalline Collective provides their powerful shield technology to human ships. The Peaceful Watchers share their advanced sensors. Species across the galaxy begin choosing sides, not based on power, but on principles. Dr. Martinez works frantically to coordinate the growing alliance. She establishes the Unity Council, where all protected species have equal voices in military decisions. This democratic approach contrasts sharply with the Corvin Empire's brutal hierarchy. The war's turning point comes at the Battle of the Neutral Zone. The combined human-alien fleet faces the entire Purity Alliance armada. Admiral Hayes leads the charge, broadcasting to all combatants, "Today we fight not as separate species, but as one united galaxy." The final battle rages across 3 star systems. The Purity Alliance, despite their superior firepower, cannot match the coordinated defense of species fighting for their survival and freedom. Human tactics, combined with alien technology and unified purpose, prove unstoppable. General Vex makes his last stand at the Corvin homeworld. He still believes that strength alone determines victory, but discovers that unity creates strength beyond individual power. The combined fleet overwhelms Corvin defenses through coordinated sacrifice and mutual support. The war ends not with the extinction of the Corvin Empire, but with their surrender and transformation. Admiral Hayes offers terms that shock the galaxy: rehabilitation instead of revenge, aid instead of conquest. The defeated Corvins are given the chance to rebuild their society based on cooperation rather than domination. The Galactic Federation collapses as member species abandon it for the Monday. New Galactic Unity Alliance. Ambassador Talon, now powerless, watches as his former subjects embrace human leadership. The Centauri Alliance, once the galaxy's dominant power, requests membership in the human-led organization. Captain Kira, now Admiral of the Valani Defense Fleet, speaks at the Unity Alliance's founding ceremony. She tells the gathered species, "We called to the darkness when hope was lost. Humanity answered with light. Today, we ensure that no species will ever face extinction alone again." The new galactic government operates on human principles: protection of the weak, equality of all species, and the right to self-determination. The Guardian Protocol becomes the foundation of galactic law, with humans serving as protectors and mediators rather than rulers. Dr. Martinez becomes the first human ambassador to the Unity Alliance. Under her leadership, the galaxy experiences unprecedented peace and prosperity. Former enemies work together on scientific advances, cultural exchanges, and mutual defense. The story concludes with a new distress signal from the far edge of the galaxy. A previously unknown species faces extinction from a cosmic disaster. Without hesitation, the Unity Alliance fleet, led by human ships but crewed by dozens of species, races to provide aid. As they travel toward the crisis, Admiral Hayes reflects on humanity's journey from a primitive species to the galaxy's moral compass. The same compassion that led humans to help the desperate Velani now guides an entire galactic civilization. The final scene shows human children playing with young aliens of various species on Earth, while their parents work together to explore new worlds and protect vulnerable civilizations. Humanity has not conquered the galaxy. They have taught it to conquer fear, hatred, and indifference. The story ends with the message that true strength comes not from weapons or technology, but from the willingness to help others, even when there is no personal gain. Humanity's greatest victory was not defeating their enemies, but converting them into allies through the simple act of caring about strangers in need. Asterisk.